G'day comrade subscribers. Upgrade went fine last night, 3G upgrade, so got today off. Anyway, so 3G has been shut off in Australia, almost. Apparently we've still got it, the Sturt Highway between Darwin and Adelaide is still got 3G coverage, because the RNC that they're using there by a company called Gilat, Israeli company apparently, uses satellite backhaul, and they don't have a 4G solution, so they need to keep the 3G solution running, because obviously providing telecommunication coverage on the Sturt Highway is pretty important. Anyway, I thought today for this one we could see if we could try and repurpose these 4-character modules. It looks pretty simple. We've got a 5-volt regulator here, so I'm assuming everything's running on 5 volts. We do have some CMOS logic here, 74C and a CD45 something, and got the keyboard interface there. That's the ROM cartridge, so that'll be the MCU and the ROM. So it all looks pretty simple. So let's desolder one and have a look. Okay, got it just about done, I think. Let's see if it's going to move after all these decades. Need a little bit more. Starting to move. There we go. It's just about something still. One of them, okay. I think one of them still got a little bit too much solder. Let me sort that out. There we go. So it's, what, 12 pins in total? I think 6 pins either side. It's got a blob, so I guess a little processor or something in there. Considering that we've got 4 characters and we've only got 12 pins, so yeah, interesting. Looks like it might be Fairchild. There's a, I did see, is it on that side? It's on that side. Is it Fairchild or Ferranti? I can't remember. An F. We'll have a look anyway. Look it up, see if we can find this part number, which will greatly help, obviously, figuring out the pinout and how to use it. So it actually goes, you can see it was angled in, so it's actually that way up. Anyway, yeah, let me go have a look. Well, g'day, comrade subscribers. So I've been a bit busy. I've done a schematic of the computer, and I've designed some cartridges so that, so that we could, I don't know, try and use this for something. So, but I realised we didn't actually have a proper look of it working in our first video. So this is obviously the French-English dictionary. You can switch it to English-French. We won't do too much. Let's see, press F, gives you a little scrolling text. Great. I love it. I love those modules. So you can see it refers to the Lexicon LK-3000. I think if you have a look, because you can see it's actually a different coloured. So I think, although having said that, this one is also, yeah, anyway, so I guess the Lexicon was the original, and Nixdorf. I keep typing Nixdorf, licensed it, I guess. So hence why it says Lexicon. But that's obviously in the cartridge itself, because there's not much in the computer, just the keyboard scanning and display handling. Right, to actually use it, so if we want to go English to French, we can do something like type type in, say, money, and then you do question mark, and it'll say either not found or it says money. So it's like, okay, money is in there, and then you press question mark again, and it tells you the French. I'm not going to pronounce it. Argent. What else? So we can go the other way. What's the French word? Oh, I know a French word. Oh, actually, I was going to say oui, but I'm going to spell it right, am I? Ordinator. Oh, I know how to spell it when I'm on the computer. On the oh, this is going to be wrong. I think this is going to be wrong. Is it? Not found. Yeah, okay, so I probably spelt it wrong. But you can also do, what about if I do ORD question? Or the question, ordin, okay, no, it's not that one. Can I step through? Not found. Is that the only word in there that starts with ORD? If I go O. Okay, so this is all the words it knows starting with O. So it doesn't know computer. Oh, it doesn't know many O words, does it? Jeez. Can you do a sentence? I don't know if you can do a sentence. How are how are you? Okay. Comment. Ooh. Allez-vous? Oh, how do I make it scroll? I don't know how to make it scroll. Hang on. But this is a battery saving thing. You can see it after 30 seconds. It goes into like a power saving mode. So you can do building a sentence. All right. So take me to the airport. Can we do that? Press question mark. Oh, take me to. Oh, okay. So you can actually take in. So there are phrases you can actually do. Oh, we can't. Oh, can we scroll back through them? No, we can't. All right. So let's just try. Take. All right. So that's the one I want. All right. So that's entered into the temporary memory. And then I guess and then okay. I don't know if that went into the temporary memory. Airport. Oh, okay. Take me to the airport. Okay. Okay, the Spanish. Oh no, the French. Emmenez-moi à l'aéroports. There we go. Fascinating stuff. Okay. So now what do I want to do? I want to try and understand how this actually works. So there's a keyboard and display strobe come from the CPU. A shout out to Retro Gamer on the VCFED forums, who I think documented the cartridge pinout. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to pull this apart, solder this on because it won't make contact properly, and then connect a logic analyzer up and just see how it works, so that we can reverse engineer it and make our own cartridges. That will do, or God knows what. But yeah, so that's the next thing to do. Surprise, surprise, it's the NiCads are, ugh. But these ones are actually, these are the ones from the first one I opened up, made in Japan. And these ones are made in Mexico, 1980. But yeah, pretty horrific inside. So just going to... And the interesting thing is it says you can't overcharge it. So if you want to charge it, just switch it off and plug the power in. You can't overcharge it. But there is actually no charging circuitry on here. It basically just connects from the power through to the battery. So that's interesting. Anyway, I was just thinking about, you know, when I ultimately replace these with nickel metal hydride. Not to use a soldering iron, just going to cut them. And that one there. Okay, so like I said, the idea is I get this cartridge out. So they go in like that, don't they? Yeah, so they go in like this and make contact like that. But obviously it's not, I'm not going to be able to hold it because I was going to connect the logic analyzer probes to those pins there. I thought that might be easiest. So obviously I need to have the case open. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to solder that there so it makes a good connection. And then I've got access also so that I can press buttons and check the keyboard strobe and things. Once I get all this crud off here. That's the plan. Okay. Done. There we go. That should do the work. Do the job. And I just got the fiddly part of hooking up the logic analyzer. Is that going to work now? Was just working. Oh, there we go. And keyboard. Yep. Yep. Clear. There we go. Just dodgy connection on the power there. Yeah. All right. So it looks to be good. So like I said, now I'm just trying to hook up the analyzer probes to the cartridge pins and see how the cartridge interacts with the keyboard and the display. Right, I've got it hooked up. I hate these things. They're always popping off, but it seems that connecting them to the actual cartridge edge connector there is the best way of doing it. So I've got it like that, but it doesn't help because I need to see the screen, don't I? Doesn't I? Anyway, so I've been fiddling around and I'm kind of understanding it now. So we've got a pair of these 74LS42s. So I guess what they're 4 to 10 decoder or something, I don't know. Anyway, so we've got one that handles the keyboard strobe, active low, and then we've got the display strobe on the other one. So keyboard strobe, we've got A0, A1, A2 address in, and then we've got the rows out, which is what we've got on the keyboard here. So we've got 8 rows. So we're obviously strobing those rows, I guess, and then seeing what output we get on here. So the data there. So I guess the data out there is telling us what key has been pressed. And for the display here, we've got two address pins, and then we've got the 4 write enables for the 4 modules. So I'm guessing that those 2 address pins, A2 and A3, will address these individual, I guess, yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, whatever, Brett. Anyway, so let me, so I'll try and capture the screen. I'll try and turn this over so we can see the display on here as well. So I kind of understand it. So what happens, what we saw before is when we turn it on, it says English, Spanish, or Spanish English, or French English, or whatever. And then after 30 seconds, it goes into power save mode where it prints the dots going across the screen, and you can actually see that. So most of the time, we're just we've got the keyboard strobe, so we're looking for a key, and the display strobe is not doing anything because we're not changing the display. But then when we start doing the dots, you can see the keyboard strobe going up, going high, display strobe going low, and then obviously we're outputting the data. But anyway, let's actually show what I'm talking about. Even if I can just get it on its side or something. All right, let me concentrate on this. All right, so this is what I've ended up with, my little stand there. So hopefully this will work. On. Okay, so keyboard's active low. Display strobe is now high, so we displayed some info, which mostly looks correct. And now we're basically just waiting for a keyboard key. So let's print some text. So let's press the F key, and now we can see that it's misbehaving because I've had it powered on for so long. It's not working properly. But now you can see that we're alternating the keyboard strobe and the display strobe. Let's zoom out a bit as we display all the text. Now I'm not touching the clear button at all. So don't know why that's doing that. So I think it's misbehaving at the moment. But this is a good start. So it kind of tells me what to do. Basically, you need to take the strobe active low, whether you want to read the keyboard or not, and basically we either get the output from the keyboard matrix in the data, or we put the characters we want to display onto the data bus, I guess. So that, yeah, I think we can work on something from that. Although it's definitely starting to misbehave now. Let's press the J. So I'm holding down J. Now it's going. All right, let's. Yeah, now it's going a bit haywire. All right, I think that's given me a good idea on how to start. I'll writing some Arduino code for my cartridge. For my breakout cartridges that I'm getting. So I've ordered them from PCB and probably be here in about 2 weeks. So I'll have some fiddling with some, see if I can replicate that. But yeah, it's a pretty simple piece of machinery. You know, we've got pretty much just 3 chips handling the display and the keyboard. So obviously it's simple. It's not something I've ever worked on before. So I've just got to get my head around it. But yeah, I think we'll be able to make something out of it. Let's see. Thanks for hanging around. Bye for now.